Hi, I'm John Kinnaman, and I want to talk about a spiritual awakening that I had this Christmas. As we celebrate a divine birth that took place over 2,000 years ago, this is a story about the birth of that spirit in us, in me, through an act of service. I offer it in honor of our Guru Sai Maharaj and Swami Satya Sai Baba, whose role in all this was quite clear to me. It is written in the Gospel of John that greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's own life for one's friends. I know this does not mean physical or psychological death or even sacrifice. It means committing one's life to serve another, which ultimately is no sacrifice at all, but a privilege to help in a way that is dependent on nothing but willingness to serve. I've been in Los Angeles for over a month now to help my mother, who reaches the age of 100 this January 7th. She's healthy and doing fine, but she was being wrongly assessed by new management at her assisted living residence. They were threatening to place her in a restrictive environment against her wishes. The alternative of moving elsewhere could also be traumatic at that age. So this was a crisis situation, and I was given a 2-week deadline. I was still recovering from a heart attack I had in 2020, and yet there was no time for me to think about my own needs or even my own health and safety. So, in letting all those concerns go, I began to see more deeply into my mother's amazing life, and I began to see from her perspective. I knew I would eventually recover who I am, but this empathy was profound and important for understanding her situation and helping her adapt. I felt a connection that didn't exist when I was growing up. I could feel my heart opening in a new reality, new purpose, and new meaning. I didn't expect that, but I think it was because committing to this challenging situation required something close to total surrender. So, laying down one's life doesn't mean sacrifice at all. It means accepting the true joy of being what we were meant to be. So this is supposed to be about Sai Maharaj by the graces of Swami Satya Sai Baba. And indeed it is, because that is what he does every minute of every day, living his life for the benefit of others. He answered my prayer when this challenge presented itself, writing, I will help, dear John. From today, I will take care. Swami's grace will be there, John. And so it was. Anyone can say these words, but who can really mean them? It would take volumes to describe how miraculously everything has gone, getting the medical assessments, meeting every deadline exactly, learning the right course of action, and finding the perfect place to move and the perfect way to do it without causing additional trauma. My karma with my mom has not been easy in the past. So I know this had a divine hand because it worked. People said it was almost impossible, as it happened, that I had pulled off a miracle. But I know it wasn't me. I was just going task to task, trying not to make a mistake and praying for the best. There was an outpouring of essential help and advice from my friends, family, and professionals, all amazingly synchronistic. We completed everything in 2 weeks to the day. In a final show of divine harmony, the top geriatrician at UCLA granted my request for a special assessment, booking an emergency appointment for us one day before the move and one day before his own departure for India to study cases like my mother's. So this is my question. If all I did was to be willing, how did it come out right? I've only known Swami for about 2 decades and Sai Maharaj for a third of that. I think I only touched a thread of what true service really is. But I think the true reality of such service is the way it goes for God and Guru. Thank you, Sai. Thank you, Swami, with all my heart. John.